Hey everyone, Steven from Straight Fire Picks. We got best bets for NFL Week 8 on Sunday, October 30th, 2022. We're going to have NFL player prop spreads, over-unders, money lines here for you today. We're going to have 4 picks that make a great value bets for this NFL Week 8 Sunday slate. As always, just want to thank you all for your continued support here on the channel. If you're new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We are on the road to 7,000 subscribers. Reminder here at the channel, guys, that we are partnered with Prize Picks, so be sure to use our code SFP for a 100% deposit match and your first deposit up to $100 on Prize Picks. You can also use one of our links that we have down below in the comment section and description. Really is a great app, guys. It specializes in player props and things of that nature. You can put multiple picks into an entry to win a lot of money. It really is a lot of fun to use. So I highly encourage you to check it out. Like I said, use our code SFP for that 100% deposit match. One of the links that we have down below in the comment section and description. Be sure to also check out our community Discord page as well. Great place to connect with our community and to get new ideas for bets. We'll also have a link in the comment section and description for that. Be sure to also drop your favorite pick down below in the comment section. If you like your pick included in our comment capper section, just be sure to put a star or an asterisk next to your pick. We'll include your pick in the video if it hits. Okay, now it's time for a shout out to our Straight Fire MVPs. So as always, guys, you see this beautiful list here running beside me of all of our Straight Fire MVPs. If you're interested in becoming a Straight Fire MVP, there's a join button down below. We'll also have a link in the comment section and description for that. Great way to support the channel and what we do here at the channel. It's just $3.99 per month. You get a badge next to your name, some custom emojis, roll caller in the Discord, and shout outs on our videos. And you also get access to our picks early. So the picks that you're seeing here today on Saturday morning were posted on Friday night. If you guys want to get earlier lines, sometimes the lines move overnight and things like that. So when I get ahead of the lines, great way to do that. All right, now results from the previous episode. So this is actually last Sunday's afternoon episode. So we ended up actually going 3-2 in that episode. It was a solid episode. Wish we could have done better, but our spreads have absolutely stunk this year, guys. We have not been picking spreads well at all, and you'll see it by the record on our screen. It has not been good for spreads, guys. So be very cautious with us. I'm working to get out of that hole, but that's gonna be a tough hole to get out of. Player props have been solid, but we were able to cash both of our player props. Brian Robinson over in rushing yards and Breece Hall over in rushing yards. He actually still cashed for us despite suffering that gruesome injury, which obviously I hope he recovers from that. Just cashed on the hook actually to the over. So I mean, I hope that didn't burn any of you guys. That would really stink. He only had 4 carries for like 72 yards. We pretty much got the over on one play, and then he got injured. So. Obviously, I think that was a good call. And then we had the under 43.5 points there in the Jaguars-Giants game. Was also able to cash that. It was definitely a sweat, but we were able to cash that. Missed on our 2 spread picks, the Detroit Lions plus 6.5 and the Falcons plus 6.5. The Lions spread I actually thought was a good call. If you looked at the final score, you'd be like, Steve, what are you talking about? You're smoking something. But the Lions actually were leading that game, most of that game, up until the fourth quarter. Then they committed a total of 5 turnovers in that game. 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and ended up losing 24-6 after leading 6-3 most of the way. So, and then they blew a chance to retake the lead where they got stopped at the 1. They fumbled on the 1-yard line of Dallas, so it just was like, come on. That's our type of luck right now. The previous week, the Cowboys missed a field goal to cover a spread. So we've gotten pretty unlucky too. I'm not going to say every pick has been bad. We have picked some bad ones. Falcons was definitely off, but you get what I'm getting at there, guys. So we end up going 3-2. Still a profitable episode. Like I said, we cashed both of our player props and our totals pick. Missed both of our spreads with the Falcons there as well. So let's get after it today, though, guys. Let's get this 4-0 sweep. May also have an added play, so look for that. Check our pinned comment. Come back and check this video. Check the pinned comment, and I'll also be on our Twitter if I have an added play. I'm looking to add at least one. So let's get right into our picks here, though, guys. And number 1, we are going right back to Brian Robinson. Over 57.5 rushing yards here for the Washington Commanders. Minus 103 odds here on Caesars. So I do love these odds. So, guys, Brian Robinson carries over his last 3 weeks. His logs are 9, 17, and 20 in that order from 3 weeks ago up until now. So one thing you'll notice, he's getting more carries every week, which is obviously great for a play like this. He's progressively been getting more carries. He's taking the top spot in this running back depth chart for sure. Gibson has kind of been phased out to a degree. Obviously he's had fumble problems. So Robinson really controlling this backfield. They love, the coaching staff really loves the way this guy runs the ball and how physical he could be. Not really elusive, but he is a physical runner, and that's why I do like it in this matchup, particularly with the Colts. Colts, who have they had to play against in 2 of the last 3 weeks? They've had to play against Derrick Henry, who's gone over 100 yards in both of those games. Not that Brian Robinson is Derrick Henry, but Brian Robinson represents a very similar type of physical style, where he's more, he's going to get in there and get the tough yards, and I think he'll have a great chance to do that. I think he'll get a lot of carries here again. He's gone over in the last 2 weeks in rushing yards with logs of 73 and 60, so I like that. And the Colts here on the season allowing the 10th most rushing yards, which I do like to see that. Like I said, I like the style here. I think Robinson's going to be able to get this done. I think he's going to be able to run pretty hard again. Really liking his line. He's another guy I'm going to be looking to play for a little while as long as he's cashing for us. His line's, up into at least the 60s. But I like that it's still in the 50s here. So we're going to roll it there for our number 1 pick, guys. We're going Brian Robinson over 57.5 rushing yards here for the Washington Commanders. Minus 103 odds here on Caesars. Okay, and at number 2, we are going with the under 42.5 points here in the Chicago Bears-Dallas Cowboys game. Minus 110 odds here on FanDuel. So, guys, both these defenses have been really solid this year. The Bears continuing to surprise me. I didn't really think the defense was for real. And then when I watched the play last week, I was like, wow, they went into Foxborough and really played themselves quite a game. Held the Patriots to 14 points, won that game 33-14. And really were really impressive. On the season, this Bears defense is 6th in points allowed, 12th in yards allowed, but particularly their pass defense is really the strength of this Bears defense, but they've done a nice job. Obviously, they did just ship off Robert Quinn, which I don't particularly love that, but I still think they can hold the Cowboys offense in check that, still looking to get back into rhythm, right? Dak Prescott coming back into the lineup. He honestly didn't look bad versus the Lions, but nothing that would scare you, obviously. And on the flip side for the Cowboys defense, they've also been very good this year. Cowboys 2nd in points allowed, 6th in yards allowed, so I like to see that. Both these teams actually love to run the football, especially this year. Dallas is 24th in pass-to-run ratio. Bears are 32nd in pass-to-run ratio, which means both these teams love to run the football, which means that clock will keep ticking, which is exactly what you want on an under bet. And here, I'm looking for the Cowboys to continue to run the football here. In this matchup. It is a good matchup for them. And you're not going to want Dak throwing it all over the yard. I think one thing we learned about Dak Prescott being out and Cooper Rush being in is Cowboys are much better suited running the football first, opening up their play action, relying more on their defense. That's how they're going to win games. And I think Dallas, you're going to see Dallas really get back to that thing. So we're going to see a lot of time of possession in this game, a lot of running of the football. Both these teams have also been very profitable to the under this season as well. Bears are 4-3 to the under on the season. Cowboys 5-2 to the under. So that's obviously very solid. We do like to see that. We got them both obviously meeting head-to-head here. The last 7 meetings have actually gone way over in this series. So we are going against the grain on this. But I like it here. These are 2 very different teams and 2 different styles than they've had in the past. The Bears obviously run the football the most in the NFL, and the Cowboys have kind of switched more. They're starting to run that football a little bit more, and they should. And this Bears defense really is a lot better than in years past. They're playing much better. So, and we're expecting, Prescott maybe to be still a little bit rusty. So, do love it there, guys, for our number 2 pick. We're going with the under 42.5 points here in the Chicago Bears-Dallas Cowboys game. Minus 110 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, and at number 3, we are going with Irv Smith Jr., for the Minnesota Vikings, over 30.5 receiving yards here, minus 114 odds on FanDuel. So Irv Smith is actually over this mark in 3 of his last 5 games, averaging 5.6 targets per game in that span, which we like to see that. This is the best matchup you could ever hope for, and this is really extra good. Cardinals allow the most yards and receptions to tight ends. Tight ends have been absolutely killing it versus this Cardinals team. Every week, a tight end is cash versus this Cardinals team. That's the statistic I think that I really love, is every single week it's happening. Travis Kelce, 120 in week 1. Waller, 50 yards. Tyler Higbee, 61. Trumbull for the Panthers, 34, and they can't even really throw the ball. Dallas Goedert, 95. Noah Fant, 45. And Juwan Johnson last week, 32. So obviously some really easy cashes in there as well. Juwan Johnson's line was 15.5. Easily cashed that. So tight end really is the play here, guys, in this matchup. Cardinals really having a tough time defending tight ends. And Smith is definitely involved in the pass game. Like I said, the average of 5.6 targets per game is what I really like. I think he'll have some nice looks here down the field. I did want to play Justin Jefferson again. We've played him a few weeks in a row as well before he went on the bye there. But as long as 90.5, I still like it. I wanted to, but I ended up going with Irv Smith here. I think this is the play for this game. Cardinals are going to have their hands full with Justin Jefferson and Thielen, so it's not like they're going to, game plan for Irv Smith Jr. and how to stop him. No, they got a game plan for Justin Jefferson. They got a game plan for Thielen. And then, obviously, Irv Smith is somewhat going to be forgotten about, I think. So, do love it there, guys, for number 3 pick. We're going Irv Smith over 30.5 receiving yards here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Did I just say Minnesota Timberwolves? For the Minnesota Vikings, minus 114 odds on FanDuel. Guys, I'm mixing NBA and NFL right now. Oh, boy. Okay, and finally, at number 4, we are going with the Las Vegas Raiders, minus 1 spread here versus the New Orleans Saints. Minus 110 odds here on DraftKings. Guys, PSA, before you guys think about tailing this bet, I am 7-18 on spreads. Do what you want with that information. You may want to fade, you may not want to fade. I don't know. Maybe you like the Raiders this week. I do. I don't know. But here we go. Raiders are 0-3 on the road. They're going on the road here versus New Orleans. Why am I taking them? Well, the NFL, nothing really makes sense. So we got to do something that really just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, right? I think this Raiders team, though, guys, to be serious with you guys, is a lot better than the record. They're 2-4 on the season, but they've actually won 2 out of the last 3 games. And they lost by 1 to Kansas City in Kansas City. So I think right now the Raiders are really starting to find it, particularly on the offensive side. They have actually been really solid offensively. They're 9th in yards, 3rd in points on the air. They're really starting to get in rhythm offensively. Josh Jacobs is running the football really well. And obviously that's going to open things up here for Derek Carr. And I just see this Raiders offense really having their way versus the Saints defense that has struggled. They're allowing the 2nd most points, 19th most yards, but if you've watched them recently, their defense has certainly been loose. More so later, recently they've been much worse. So now the Raiders defense not much better. 7th most points allowed, 9th most yards. They haven't been that great either. But I think if the Raiders and Saints are going to get in a shootout, I think the over is honestly a good look here. If they do get in a shootout though, definitely trust Derek Carr to get it done. He's definitely got more arm talent than Andy Dalton at this point. If you press Andy Dalton and really make him throw the ball and the defense is still playing relatively tight, we saw what he could do with turnovers last week. He threw 2 pick sixes last week, which is impressive. That ruined our Saints spread, guys. We were in line to cover the Saints 100%. And then Dalton threw those 2 pick sixes and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I don't know when the last time that's happened. They were consecutive pick sixes. Unbelievable. But what can you do? This is more of a must-win for the Raiders, believe it or not, despite, the Saints being 2-5, Raiders being 2-4. The NFC South is super weak in the Saints division. The leader of that division is 3-4. So Saints honestly could still get away with losing this game. We could have the division leader be 3-5 after this week. Very possible. In fact, I think that's going to happen. So honestly, this is definitely more of a must-win for the Raiders and a much tougher AFC, with the Chiefs and the Chargers, in that division, particularly the Chiefs. So the Raiders got to win this game to somewhat keep pace. Definitely more important for them. Saints on the season, 2-5 against the spread. Yeah, they've been disappointing. They're finding ways to lose spreads. Raiders 3-3 against the spread. Like I said, much better of late. They've covered a few spreads here of late. And I just trust the talent more for the Raiders in this matchup, guys. I trust Derek Carr a lot more than Andy Dalton at this point. Dalton's older. He has looked good at times, but, we saw the turnover bug come out, and I think we could see it come out again, honestly. Love it there, guys, for our number 4 pick. We're going with the Las Vegas Raiders. -1 spread here versus the New Orleans Saints. -110 odds here on DraftKings. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Appreciate that. Honestly, I'm looking forward to this week. Really hoping we can get a sweep. We need a sweep here. We need a really good week of NFL and to really start to dial it in. And honestly, the record for the season has not been up to our standards, and a lot of that has to do with our spreads. That's really been the biggest thing that's brought us down. And honestly, I hope we could bounce back here with the Raiders. Like I said, tail carefully. Make sure you guys do your own research. I like the Raiders this week, but I can't seem to find the luck with the spread. So hopefully this is the week. We get off the schneid. We get a spread cash here with the Raiders. Love these picks, guys. Appreciate y'all here at the channel. Check out all of our social media links. We'll be looking to also add a play before Sunday. Check the pinned comment above. Looking Probably do a player prop. Definitely not going to be a spread. I'm not forcing spreads, guys. I'm going to do one spread right now. If we can cash that one, we'll move into something maybe more. But we need to hit one first before we start playing more. So appreciate you guys as always. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And we will catch you all next time. Peace out.